I want you to imagine a scenario for a bit. You're at a village inn on a Sunday afternoon in the Midwest. It's filled with an after-church crowd of mostly older couples. Everyone is enjoying their meal when in walks a different type of couple. The guy has a mohawk, a nose ring, he's sleeved up. The girl is wearing short shorts with some butt cheek hanging out and some midriff above that. They're loud, they're vulgar, maybe they're high. And most importantly, they know what they're doing. They get off on being incendiary. Now what's the reaction you'd expect from the older generation? It's what they've always done as the culture has rotted away right in front of them. They lean over to their spouse and whisper, "Oh my gosh, can you believe that? Look at those people. What's gotten into the kids these days? What a shame." They hang back, they criticize, they judge, but they never act. This was the basis of Rush Limbaugh's radio show. He was the single voice for the voiceless, who didn't have the ability to articulate their opinions like he could, much less act them out. He'd point out fringe cases of nutty professors at liberal colleges who were teaching their own kids crazy left-wing ideas and laughing and saying, "Oh man, these kids are in for a shock when they get out into the real world." Well, didn't that turn out to be wrong? Because this hits on a life truth. Correcting a lie always takes longer than it takes to tell the lie in the first place. If someone is lying, you can't dismiss it with a few words. To thoroughly refute it takes time and energy, and importantly, courage. You must confront it, not hang back and allow it to fester while you scoff at it. To fix a totaled car takes more effort and skill than it took to total the car in the first place. That's why we're in the mess we're in now. Lies have been able to prosper due to the politeness of good people. HR forces anti-racist training on employees who don't want to take the courses. But they stay silent while the lies are confidently told because they know that the fear of speaking out in defense of the truth is more dangerous to your reputation than just hanging back and getting through it. It's why our politicians no longer represent us. It's why the media openly lies to our faces. It's why propaganda works. It's how big tech gets away with censorship. It's why spoiled 6-year-old boys slap their own mother's face in a tantrum.
How does it feel to be told to shut up?
We've talked about it.
Let me speak. How does that feel? How does that feel?
There's zero fear of retaliation. Oh sure, the mother doesn't like the fact that she's being mistreated, and she knows that she's more powerful and could stop the behavior any time. But as long as the resistance only happens in the mind, it might as well not even be happening at all. Until it's represented in the world through action, thoughts are little more than useless. You can tie a horse to a fence post, but as soon as the horse feels the slightest tug when resisting, it backs down and quits pulling away. But of course, the horse is capable of breaking free at any time. The only limiting factor is its mind. That's political correctness. That's Crime Stop. That's the feeling we've been trained to have through public education and propaganda towards defending the ideas this country was founded on. We've been trained that speaking out is heretical, but acting out is the cardinal sin. Even down to the smallest level, conservatives are told that action means there will be serious punishment from the forces that the left controls. A bakery can refuse to bake a gay couple a cake, when there's dozens of other businesses that would be more than happy to bake the same cake, but that one symbol of defiance will ruin you. Meanwhile, big tech censors, shadow bans, and outright blocks conservative users with no viable alternatives to turn to, and they do this with zero fear of retaliation. That's how they've trained us, to quit being we the people. It's how we've become a nation that is constantly berated, despised, spied on, lied to, and hated, not by the Nazis or by our alien overlords, but by the very people who claim to lead us. And it started when people failed to act and only cowered in fear. Look at the negative effects of the COVID lockdowns. Look at the small businesses closing, the suicide rate going up, world poverty doubling, the corporations getting billions of dollars richer, the government becoming more powerful than ever before, simply because we didn't resist hard enough in the beginning. We should have told these people to shove it, or risk the wrath of the entire population. But we didn't. We just politely went along, only bemoaning it to our friends and family. This is why the passengers on Flight 93 are so admirable. It's why the Boston Tea Party was so important in American history. It's why the men who fought on the beaches of Normandy were brave. Bravery isn't the absence of fear, but having courage in spite of the fear that you face. While today's supposed silent majority has by definition barely been able to even speak up, the left has not only been speaking, but doing. The left didn't take over every strata of academia, the media, the corporations, Hollywood, and big tech by just being the vocal minority. They have actively been working towards controlling these institutions for over 100 years. Almost every major city in America is ran by Democrats. That's a commitment towards action that the conservative and the libertarian just don't have. And that may be a consequence of the difference in mindset between the leftist desire to control and regulate and mandate, and the conservatives' wish for a government that just left them alone. But either one requires action to become a reality. And clearly, we see today who's put in the work. The main point here is we conservatives have to start doing, because the future of our country is on the line. Now, of course, this is all easier said than done, and solutions are far from self-apparent. I did, however, watch a great video from fellow YouTuber Academic Agent, who does a tremendous job outlining what actions conservatives would need to take if they truly desire to take back the institutions. It's a great follow-up to this video, and I'll link that in the description below. If you like this video and type of content I'm making, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment on this video. I'd appreciate it. That's all I've got for today. See you all in the next video.